Well, I feel pretty vindicated this week, along with the range of heterodox economists that I tend to admire and follow, particularly because of what's happening in China now to their economy, but also what has happened in Greece. I think it reveals conclusively that the economic crisis, this global economic crisis, is ongoing, and there's absolutely no remedy in sight at the moment. I also had this week an email from a Fin24 reader who actually was flying from Philadelphia in the United States, where he got last week's column about the rise of the robots and the threat of digitization to employment. And he wrote saying he was very pleased that he'd seen my column, because he might have been more shocked than he was, because the entire restaurant at the Philadelphia airport was digitized. The menu, you merely pressed a button on the menu to order, you paid by card, everything was digitized. No human in sight. In fact, the only human he saw was a person who quickly delivered his meal, and that was it. So this is a crisis the world is in. So how are our trade unions reacting? Well, this week, on Monday and Tuesday, we have a special National Congress of COSATU. But they're not going to be dealing with any of these problems, although I think that they actually should. They'll say, I probably put them off till their final National Congress later in the year. But what they will be doing is calling for unity of the trade union movement, which is a very good thing, except that it's a rather spurious unity, I think, because it's a unity they're calling for without the largest affiliate of the Federation and without the elected General Secretary. Now, it could go one way or the other, but they should actually have this out in the open. This is something I'm going to look at in my column, the Inside Labour column, which you can read on this platform, Fin24, tomorrow, and in a version of which will be in the City Press on business section on Sunday. It's this whole question of looking at democracy, because, you know, the pundits, commentators, myself included, can get things terribly wrong. We certainly did here, for example, very recently with the election of the General Secretary of the National Union of Mine Workers. None of us, no one prophesied that anyone but Frans Baleni would take it. I mean, after all, there are only two regions who seem to be opposing him. Yet he lost to David Sipunzi. And look at what happened in Greece. Everybody predicted a very, very narrow yes-no vote. In fact, it was a conclusive, totally over the top, 60% vote for no. We got it wrong. Now, this shows, I think, that it doesn't matter whether we have pundits, commentators, or even so-called scientific opinion polls. They can all be wrong. The only way that you actually get the will of the people is by open, honest debate and discussion, followed by a fair and open vote. That's the only way to achieve, I think, a situation, whether it's within a trade union or a country or whatever, of peace and stability. That's what I think, and that's what I intend to concentrate on. But it'll be over to you. Down below, if you wish, the comments section, you may comment, or you could send an email to editor@fin24.com. I'll reply, whether it's a question, a criticism, or whatever. And until then, for next week, cheers.